Have you ever scrolled through your phone, seen a super cute outfit for a shockingly low price, and wondered, how is this even possible? Chances are you have encountered Shein. In just a few years, this mysterious online retailer has exploded from obscurity to become the undisputed, and sometimes controversial, king of fast fashion. But how did a Chinese startup manage to completely dominate a global industry, leaving giants like Zara and H&M scrambling to keep up? It is a story of data, speed, and a business model that has completely rewritten the rules of fashion. Forget what you think you know, because the real story of Shein is more complex and fascinating than you could ever imagine. To understand Shein's meteoric rise, we need to rewind the clock. Founded in 2008 by Chris Su, Shein did not start as the fashion behemoth we know today. Originally, it was a dropshipping business selling wedding dresses. The genius, however, was not in the product, but in the strategy. From the very beginning, Su understood the power of the internet, specifically search engine optimization. He mastered the art of figuring out what people were searching for online and delivering it to them. This data-driven approach was the seed from which the entire Shein empire would grow. While other brands were focused on runway trends, Shein was focused on Google Trends. It was a subtle but revolutionary shift, turning fashion from an art into a science. So, what was the secret sauce? How did Shein go from selling wedding dresses to offering thousands of new styles every single day? The answer lies in what is called real-time retail. Imagine a traditional fashion brand like Zara. They might design a collection, produce it in large batches, and then ship it to stores worldwide. This process takes months. Shein flipped that model on its head. Instead of big bets, they make thousands of tiny ones. They use sophisticated algorithms to scour social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, analyzing trends, clicks, and comments in real time. They can identify a budding micro-trend, design a product, and have it listed on their site in a matter of days, not months. This is where their supply chain comes in. Shein built a massive network of thousands of small, agile workshops and factories in China. When their algorithm spots a potential winner, say a specific style of floral dress trending on TikTok, they do not order 10,000 units. Instead, they place a super small initial order, maybe just 100 pieces. Then they watch the data like a hawk. If that dress sells out in hours, the algorithm instantly triggers larger production orders. If it flops, they have only lost a tiny investment, and they move on to the next of 1,000 daily experiments. This test-and-learn model minimizes risk and maximizes their ability to give customers exactly what they want, at the very moment they want it. It is like having 1,000 fishing lines in the water instead of just one big net. Now let us talk about the engine that powers this whole operation: social media. Shein is not just on social media, they have conquered it. Their marketing strategy is a masterclass in digital engagement. They pioneered the Shein Haul video format, where creators buy a massive amount of clothing and try it on for their audience. This user-generated content is incredibly effective. It is authentic, it is relatable, and most importantly, it is free advertising on a colossal scale. By flooding platforms with countless collaborations with micro and macro influencers, they created a perpetual cycle of hype. Every scroll on TikTok or Instagram became a potential Shein ad. They turned their customers into their marketers, building a community and a brand image that felt organic and user-driven, all while being meticulously orchestrated behind the scenes. Of course, you cannot talk about Shein without addressing the price tag. The incredibly low prices are, for many, the main attraction. How do they achieve this? It is a combination of everything we have discussed. The on-demand production model means no waste from unsold inventory. Their direct-to-consumer approach cuts out the middleman and the costs of physical retail stores. Sourcing from a network of workshops in China allows for competitive labor and manufacturing costs. And by operating almost entirely online, they avoid the massive overheads of traditional brick-and-mortar retailers. This relentless focus on efficiency at every single step of the process allows them to offer products at prices that competitors simply cannot match. This pricing strategy has democratized fashion for many, but it has also raised significant questions. As Shein grew into a multi-billion-dollar giant, so did the scrutiny. The brand has faced a storm of controversy, raising critical ethical questions that we cannot ignore. One of the biggest concerns is their environmental impact. The fast fashion model itself, based on producing huge quantities of cheap, Often synthetic clothing designed to be worn a few times is inherently unsustainable. Critics point to the immense water usage, carbon emissions from global shipping, and the problem of textile waste, with discarded clothes piling up in landfills. The sheer volume of production by Shein amplifies these environmental concerns to an unprecedented level, forcing us to ask, what is the true cost of a $5 t-shirt? Alongside environmental issues are serious labor concerns. Investigations by various groups have raised alarms about the working conditions within Shein's vast and opaque supply chain. Reports have alleged long working hours and low pay for garment workers in some of the workshops that supply the company. Shein has responded by stating they have a strict supplier code of conduct and conduct audits. But the sheer complexity and lack of transparency in their network make it incredibly difficult to verify conditions across thousands of partners. This has led to widespread calls for greater accountability and a clearer picture of who is making the clothes, and under what conditions. Then there is the issue of design. Shein has been hit with a tidal wave of accusations from independent designers, and even other large brands who claim the company has stolen their original designs. Artists have shared side-by-side comparisons showing their unique work appearing on Shein's website without permission or compensation. This has sparked a major debate about intellectual property rights in the digital age. For small, independent creators, seeing their work allegedly copied and sold for a fraction of the price can be devastating. Shein maintains that they respect intellectual property and have processes to deal with infringement claims, but the frequency of these accusations remains a significant stain on their reputation. Looking ahead to 2025 and beyond, Shein is at a crossroads. They have achieved market dominance through a brilliant, data-driven strategy. But the mounting pressure regarding their environmental, labor, and ethical practices is forcing them to evolve. We are already seeing them attempt to polish their image, with initiatives like using more recycled materials and launching a platform for reselling used Shein clothing. They are also trying to become more transparent, publishing modern slavery statements and details about their supply chain audits. The question is, are these genuine fundamental changes, or are they just a public relations campaign? The next few years will be critical. Can Shein pivot from being the king of ultra-fast fashion to a more sustainable and ethical leader? Or will a new competitor, one that perhaps combines Shein's speed with genuine ethical practices, emerge to challenge their throne? The future of fashion may very well depend on the answer. Shein's story is not just about a clothing brand. It is about the very nature of our modern, hyper-connected world. It shows the incredible power of data, the speed of digital culture, and the complex global systems that deliver products to our doorsteps. It holds up a mirror to our own desires as consumers, our love for a bargain, our desire for novelty, and our growing awareness of the impact of our choices. Whether you love them or loathe them, there is no denying that Shein has changed the game forever. Thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts on Shein? Have you ever shopped there? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. See you next time.